Hi, this is Jen with Unchained Crochet. If you haven't done it yet, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to see more items and tutorials like this. Hi guys, this is Jen, and today I'm going to show you how to do an improved star stitch. This has traditionally been done a certain way where there is a gap at the end, and as you can see, I come up with a way to make it where there's no gap. This is actually the back side of mine. This is the front side. Both ends are the same. No gap, and the ending actually looks like half of a star. So we're going to do a little swatch of this today because I want you to be able to see how I do this. And I also, another thing that I do differently, a lot of people do a single crochet row after the star stitch row. I do a half double because I like the way that it makes it more of a complete looking shooting star instead of a squatty top to it. Rounds it out a little bit more. So that is that. If you like that yarn, that is Lion Brand Ferris Wheel. And this is some of the, I don't know, it's kind of like Sweet Roll or something. It's one of the ones that was on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Sugar Wheel, I think. And I'm just going to use a J-hook today. So with star stitch, it's very easy. It looks very complicated, but it's not that complicated. I'm going to start with my slip stitch. You're going to chain a multiple of 2, just an even number of chains. So let's go ahead and just do 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now to start with your chain, I like to go through the back loops. You're going to go into the second chain from the hook. And you're going to pull up a loop. That puts 2 loops on your hook. You want 6 for this beginning star. So there's 3. There's 4. Please pardon the noise. My husband is up late at night with me. There's 4. He thinks that's funny. That is you. You night owl, you. Sorry, I have a little trouble getting through those back loops sometimes. So I gotta fish it out of there. 5. And now 6. I like going through the back loop because it gives the bottom a nice chained appearance and makes your top, when you get done with your piece, look the same as your bottom. And you can also stitch it. If you were making a bunch of squares, you could stitch them together. So now we have 6 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 6. It's kind of like puff stitch in a way. If it gets stuck, just give them a jiggle and push, kind of squash them down and then pull through if you get stuck. Then you're going to chain 1 to close the stitch. Now we're going to go into that eye that we just made right here. Not sure if you can see that. It's right there. We're going to go into that and pull up our first loop. Now I like to go behind this leg right there because that's one of my loops of my stars. And that would take away one of the radians of the star if you were to go into that. So I like to go through the other 2 chains of that stitch. That's 3. And now we're going into the chain that we had went into last for that last star. This one right here next to that leg. So there's 4. Now you're going to go into a back loop again. Your next back loop that's available. That's 5. And now we're going into one more back loop to make 6. It's such a beautiful stitch. I have not made anything with this. I've done a swatch and decided against it for the garment I was making. I may just do me some washcloths. Okay, so now we're going to just repeat this across the row. We're going into, make sure you chain your one chain after your star stitch to close up your star, and that makes your eye right here that you go into first. There's 2. Grab those 2 back segments of that last stitch. This is a little fidgety, especially when you're doing your first row. You might just go ahead and stitch it a little looser, or you can go up a size in your hook. I like going up a size in the hook, especially doing stitches like this where you're pulling through multiple loops. There's 5. Now we're going into another back loop again for the 6. Sorry about all the microwave and the door slamming. Living life around here, aren't we? Okay, so we're going to go into the eye. We'll go through each step again. Now we're going into the back of this stitch. Just pick you up something other than that front leg. I just feel like it looks so much more aesthetically pleasing to the eye to have all your legs there in the front. Now you're going to go into the chain that this went into, which is right here. That little loop sticking up there. Make sure when you do your beginning chain that you chain pretty loosely. If you get it too tight, just pull it out and start again. And do a practice swatch if you've never done this before. You may like doing it a different way than I do it. This is just how I like it to look. So now we've got our 6. And now we're going to pull through all 6 and do a chain. That made our eye. We're going into the eye, into the back of that last stitch. You can really just pull up any loop other than that front leg. Now we're going into, if you look, it's this bump right here. That's the back loop of the chain that I went into on the last star stitch. There's 4. You want them snugged right up against each other. There's 5. There's 6. I've been thinking about doing this tutorial all week. So I just decided I couldn't sleep, and I got all this energy. Went to Walmart tonight and of course bought some more yarn. But I've been a night owl lately since I've been off work. Right here, it's wanting to stick. That's my chain that I went into last on the last star stitch. So you've got to just look for one on the back if you can't find anything else. I'm going to use this loop back here. Again, that's your back side, and it's really not going to be noticeable. Now I'm going to go back into that chain that we went into right there for the 4th one. The 4th one, you always reuse that chain from one star stitch to the other on the fourth loop. There's 5. Now we're going into 6. Now we're going to close it. Now we're going to go into the eye. There's 2. I'm going into the chain. Hold on. It's a little fiddly when you know how it is. Every time you do your first row of something, it gets a little easier with practice. It seems like the less attention I pay when I'm doing it, the better and smoother it goes. So now we're going to go into the chain that we did on the last loop for the last star. That is the 4th one. There's the 5th one. And here is the 6th one. Now we've got our 6. We're going to close it up. I like to also aim my hook down as I pass through those, kind of down. It's a little toward me and a little facing down. Okay, so now we're at the end of our row. This is where it is different. This is so you don't get the gap. I want you to go into your eye, go into the back of your loops or your previous chain, go into your last chain. I'm just going to go into the 2 of the loops of that last chain. Super fiddly right now. So now I have 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all of those and close it up. Now you can draw up a little bit of a bigger loop, and we're going to start the half double crochets. You're going to half double crochet in this stitch. Hold on just a second, I gotta get a drink of water. Okay, and then on every eye that you did previously, where you closed up your stitch, you're gonna plant 2 half doubles into that. There's 1, there's 2. Just a little reminder, if you're right-handed and you can't follow my video and you have a hand mirror, a big hand mirror, go ahead and hold that up to the monitor. It will reverse it, the image, and make it look like I'm right-handed for you. Okay, so we've gone into those 2 eyes. We're going to keep going, do 2 half double in each eye. So where your star stitch is sprouting out from, that's where you want to do your 2 half double. You can do a single crochets across there if you like. That's just up to you and what is pleasing to you. I myself feel like single crochet rows alternating. I've done those on, let's see, the feather and fan stitch. I hate doing it, but I do it sometimes if I want that ridge on the front. I would rather do half doubles instead of single crochets any day. And I think half doubles just look so pretty. They look knit. Okay, so now we are going to go into this last eye, and if you look, it's right here. That stitch was a little loose, sorry about that. I'm going to half double 2 times into that one. Okay, and then we're going to go 1 into here. So you've got a half double at each end. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to go into, this is different too. This is to avoid the gap. This is to get started. You've chained 1. Go into this front loop and pull up a loop. Or, well, and then you would go into the back loop and pull up a loop. But you can see, this is how they usually do it. You can see it's hard to get into that back loop after you've gone into one of the other loops. You could try the back loop first, but you'll undo what you just did and just make a longer chain. So what I do is I do my chain 1, and it's gotten a little loose right now, and I yarn over, and then I go through and pull up 1 loop. So that's a way to get 2 loops on your hook after your chain 1. Does that make sense? Then we're going to go in here for the 4th one, 5 and 6. Yarn over, draw through all 6. And chain 1. Now we're going to go back just like we did before and go through the eye. Go through this back leg here. Just grab up a back loop somewhere. It's also easier with my I and H hook. And then go into the next chain. We've already done one. We got to go into that chain, that stitch. There's 4, 5, 6. Close it up with a chain 1. Go in through your eye, into this back leg, into that one, into that one. There's 5. There's 6. Close it up with the chain 1. Now we're going into the eye, into the back leg, into that previous stitch. There's 5 and 6. Close it up with a chain. And 6. This gets to where you don't really have to count. You get that muscle memory going. Visual, it's very visual pattern. You can see how many loops are on your hook easily because they're spaced out a bit. Close that up. Now we're to the end of our row again. So we're going to do just like we did before. We're going into the eye, into the back leg. You don't even have to do the back leg on this end if you don't want to. You can go into that stitch you went into last for the last star, and then go into the top of this half double that we did. And there you have a little half of a shooting star or so. Chain your 1. Turn your work. We're going to do the half double crochet row one more time. You can see the back even, it looks a little bit more aesthetic. I think so, anyway, in my opinion. So we're going to wrap, and we're going to go into the same stitch right there. So that puts 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to go into the next stitch. Oh, wait a second, I'm so sorry. We got it, and I forgot this before when I was working on this pattern. We got to do our half double row. I started doing another star row. So half double, pull up your loop a little big, do a half double into that first stitch that you just came out of. Now we're going to do 2 half doubles in each eye. It's late here. I don't know why I want to make videos when it's so late. But I think because the house is nice and quiet, it's just relaxing for me. I get to doing a little bit of lazy talking is what I call it. So then I'm just kind of like, and then this and that, I kind of trail off a bit. So forgive me if I am not my perky normal self as I am in the daytime. I think I just get so relaxed doing that little bit of stitching. That's why I go in the bedroom and stitch sometimes before bed. Just sit up in the bed and stitch. Take you some hot tea. Nice chamomile tea or some mint tea is so nice at night. Now this last stitch we just do 1 half double in. I hope this is enough for you to see. See, it's a better star stitch. No gaps. This end is straight. That end is a little curled like normal, but that's how it always is. And with a little blocking, you can get it nice and straight if you want to. I think it's so pretty. I may just finish this up and make a little coaster. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's a nice stitch for a coaster or a washcloth, or if you did 2 layers, you can do half doubles for another square and make a nice little pot holder with some cotton yarn. And there I go yawning. Nighttime stitching is great. Insomnia? Who has insomnia? But doesn't that make a nice little rounded star? It's just so pretty. I love it. Love it, love it. And nice straight edges, no gap. All right, hope that wasn't too long for you. You enjoy your day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.